Hello, my name is Ana Regina Mirra with American Insurance Point, a personal lines agency. We are located in Orlando and Miami. And today, as part of our work to educate you and our clients regarding keeping the cost of a claim as minimal as possible, I brought here the company Joe Taylor with its representative, Rick Azadorian. And today we're gonna talk a lot about what to do in case of a claim. Let's say a pipe burst, there is a fire or a hurricane, and we're gonna give you 3 tips on what to do after a claim. So welcome, Rick. It's nice to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to be here. Yeah, so I'm with Joe Taylor Restoration. We specialize in water, fire, mold, and biohazard remediation. Basically what that is, if you have something wet, we'll dry it or extract it, the water. If you have a mold situation, we can remove and clean it. If there's a biohazard situation, something like hoarding or a death or something, we certainly can deal with those instances and disinfect as well. This past year with COVID, of course, the disinfecting part was pretty popular.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
yeah,
yes, you're right.
That's something that was kind of brought up to light, you know, and it was unfortunately is what happened in the world. However, it gave a good reminder that we actually provide that service as well.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
So Rick, you told us already a little bit about your company. Now, can you be specific in telling us what type of home claims can you help?
Sure. Yeah, I would say about 70% of the things that we deal with are water related. So a leak of some sort, or an intrusion from rain or wind-driven rain, or a crack in the foundation, right? Minor leaks to full floods. So I would say if you do suffer some sort of loss where water gets into your home, buckles your floor, ruins the drywall, or becomes wet, brown staining on your ceiling, those are perfect examples of things that we can help with by giving us a call, inspect it, and we can dry it, clean it, whatever it is.
Nice. How about fire?
Yeah, fire, if your house unfortunately burns down, call the fire department. We can't deal with something that has already had a catastrophic fire, but like a very quick fire that something happens, like a grease fire in the kitchen, is something we deal with quite a bit. And believe it or not, it causes a lot of soot to be within your entire home. So those are instances where we would come, clean everything thoroughly, and disinfect after a minor fire like that.
Because we had a situation with a client that it was a condo, and the fire was next door. But when the fire truck came, they dumped, I don't know, 80,000 gallons of water, and it ended up on our client's unit.
Sure.
So what do you do in this situation?
Yeah, that would be kind of unique because it would be both a fire and water loss. The first thing we would probably do is get in and clean whatever it is that would need to be cleaned, and then of course because of the water we would dry. Ultimately our goal is to save as much of the things that are in there without removing it. In certain circumstances, we may have to remove, you know, whether it be a cabinet or drywall or carpet.
To make sure there is no mold.
To make sure there's nothing. We try to avoid removing as much as possible because the more we bring out, the more, of course, it costs to replace.
Yes. And now, as you know, nowadays insurance prices are up to the roof. And, you know, we know of several contractors that are not very honest, or exactly what you said, companies that will try to cause more damage because then they provide their own people to restore or to build up back what happened. So tell me, do you both go there and clean and do your job and build back, or you do one or the other?
Yes, we try to avoid the build back portion. So we basically, when we're done, we leave a clean slate for whoever would do the build back process. There's several reasons. We represent most of the insurance carriers in the state, and in a lot of cases, they have their own preferred vendors within those type of trades.
Uh-huh.
So we never would want to step over the line with regard to who their preferred vendor is.
Sure.
That said, there isn't a question from the insurance carrier to come back and say, well, did you really have to remove that wall? Or did you
Yes.
really have to remove that carpet? There's no question because we're not the ones that are going to replace it. So we avoid all those conflicts of interest by specializing only in the remediation part of it. And then we kind of leave a clean slate for whoever it is that would come in and build it back.
That is extremely important because I know that everybody, including myself, we are suffering with the cost of homeowners insurance. And one of the reasons that we are paying what we are paying right now is because of contractors that go and they want to clean, they want to do like what you do, the remediation, but then they cause more damage because they will go ahead and fix it. So instead of having a $6,000 claim, you're stuck with a $20,000 claim.
Sure.
Do you agree?
Yeah, it can get expensive because if there are a lot of companies that do, kind of everything all at once, while they may have good intentions, there can be extra costs associated percentage-wise per service.
Yes.
So we'll specialize in the one, water extraction or dry out, and we'll call it a simple like $2,500 bill. And then another company would come in and do the Buildback that may cost quite a bit more, maybe $8,000-9,000. Whereas if one company does it, a lot of times, it's not everybody, but it happens a lot. They may charge where it should cost maybe $12,000 total. It might cost $25,000.
Yes.
So those are just ways to avoid, excessive payments for any type of loss.
Yeah, that's true. And can you please give us 3 tips?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do in case we have a water loss? Let's say that right now somebody comes in and says, Anna, the pipe in the kitchen burst. There is water everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then if there is a fire in the kitchen, you forgot the pot with oil and it burned.
Right.
And the third one would be in case of a hurricane.
Sure. So the first thing I would say, if you're having an active water leak, shut the water off to your house. Uh-huh. Turn the water off. That's the very first thing to do. If you have a fire, put the fire out if you can. Those are the first things to do. Is obviously try to minimize the damage. Once it's stopped and the damage isn't continuing, give your agent a call or call us directly at 855-600-1414. We'll try to have a link on your website as well, so very easy access. That way we have the ability to get out there. Doesn't cost us anything or you anything for us to go and inspect what's happening, and we can begin the remediation process quickly. And if it's in fact damaged enough to file a claim, meaning they're usually an expensive loss, that transition from filing the claim with the insurance carrier can be a little more seamless because we're their preferred vendor.
Yeah, that's it.
So that would be probably the quickest way for both water and fire. As far as a hurricane goes, it's difficult because everything happens all at once within one area.
Yes.
So it's very important to quickly get in touch with us, and we will do our best to prioritize where the biggest emergency is, and we will get to you as soon as we possibly can, I promise. So I would say the process doesn't change with a hurricane. However, it is really important to get in the information as quick as possible.
Yes, because a hurricane, we are not talking about 2 people or 30 people calling at once. We are talking about how many calls? 500 calls sometimes per hour.
Yeah.
Right?
Just in your agency.
Yes.
So you got to think the entire area. So you're talking thousands and thousands of calls.
That's the map of where you serve.
This is our service area, everything in blue. We're soon, within the next few months, to include the Tampa area as well.
Oh, that's nice.
As part, we're going to be opening an office in Tampa. And then next year at this time, we should be up in Jacksonville. So we're going to have almost statewide coverage. One thing to remember is we are one company, so we are not a franchise-based company.
Great.
So like anybody in Brevard County or Broward County or Lee or Orlando, we're all part of the same team. So you're dealing with one company rather than trying to, piece together different franchises.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Last week I brought you guys the reasons that the insurance has been going up. So today I said about contractors. So today I brought Rick to explain to you how to keep the cost down, because ultimately we are responsible for this as well. Rick, do you want to add anything?
No, I appreciate you letting me come in, and it's very important to have a dialogue and a relationship with your agent. They're the person that cares about you the most as far as a one-on-one relationship. The carrier does care about you, so I wouldn't think or have a bad opinion about the carriers out there. But you got to understand they have thousands and thousands of policies, sometimes all at once. So the best person and your best friend within this process should be your agent. They can help guide you a lot of times with any type of loss, not even just water, but anything that may occur.
That's true. And one thing to remember is that your homeowner's carrier offers service for claims 24 hours a day. So if something happens in the middle of the night, make sure first you call Rick.
Yeah.
And then you call, not Rick.
Yeah, that's okay. Call the
Taylor.
Yeah.
And
if I'm there, I'll answer.
Yes, and then feel free to call the insurance company and follow up with us in the morning. Thank you very much. If you like this video, make sure you follow our YouTube channel and give us a thumb up right here. Thank you so much.
Thanks.